Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Jeffy, I am. Pew 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 pew. Thought of the day. Thought of the day, man. We're gonna talk about number 45, better known as Donald Trump. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a little discussion. We're really not gonna talk about Trump. Let's talk about the propaganda and the relationship Trump has with the news companies and things of that, and the big following he has on social media also. All right, let's talk about it. Feeling kind of full. Had the big tomahawk yesterday. Cheated on my diet. Now I'm paying for it today. Well, all right, let's get into it. Right. Let's talk about Ronald Reagan. First, Ronald Reagan was an actor. He became governor. Then he became president. Right. I guess that set the format for all this goofiness in this world now. You know, I've been around long enough to understand that social media and all that's fake. Anything you see on TV is not realistic. The news doesn't tell you everything. So that's what the topic of this conversation about is, to see how the smoke screens work in the world. And I hope y'all can hear me better today. All right, I'm a man that let's get back to Ronald Reagan. I remember Ronald Reagan, right? Do you? You remember the Contra scandal and not everything that came from Ronald Reagan? Probably not. They funded the Contras in Nicaragua and places like that. But the only thing you will remember from that is Free Ray Ricky Ross, the man who funded the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but most of that. All right. With propaganda doing what it does, and throughout the years, I'm a guy from self-destruction, and we all in the same gang, things of that nature, right? These corporate dollars came in, and it changed the whole landscape of everything we do now. Hence, in the 90s, we had OJ, and we also had Desert Storm. Do you remember that? Probably not.
Hello, Moto.
You probably remember 90210, if anything. Those big major events. Our country's been fighting holy wars forever, all over some oil, and overseas they fighting holy wars. All right, now let's fast forward a little bit more, right? We start going into the 90s and the end of the 90s. We got different shows. Everybody wants to be a boss and all these different things. Jay-Z shaking hands with Donald Trump, standing at Trump Towers. Wu-Tang, Nas, everybody that you could think of wanted to go to Trump Towers. Me myself, I wasn't impressed because New York is dirty. No disrespect to any New Yorkers, but I didn't want to go see Trump Towers. It wasn't nothing on my bucket list, right? All right. Anyway, we head into the 2000s, right? The towers came down, which was tragic, and it was so much different jargon around that. It was very different. It's almost unforgettable, but you'll never forget about that. A couple of years later, we have Hurricane Katrina. A lot of you all don't remember Hurricane Katrina. I do. A lot of our people were displaced. My extended family in Louisiana. A lot of people had to move out. A lot of lives was lost. My family in Dallas, Houston. Everybody was affected. People in Alabama was affected by this. But you never hear about none of this. None of it. But you hear about the iPhone, right? Propaganda has done. The news propaganda has hit a lot of things from us. Okay, fast forward a little more, right? The country breaks down in 2008. We're going through a recession, right? Okay, the recession happened. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody was, down on their luck. The economy was in a rut then. Now listen to what I said. The economy was in a rut then. Everybody, not everybody. Let me quit saying that. Our minds were focused on different things, trying to get money, different jobs. The economy's not going right. But then comes different cell phones. We're introduced to the iPhone. We're introduced to all these reality shows. We're introduced to, oh, they're twerking. And in the 90s, we used to call it pee popping. But now they twerking. Everybody's twerking. No, no, we're not going to fast forward yet. They twerking, doing whatever, okay. Bam! Obama pops up. Oh, America's going crazy. They scared, they're fear of a black planet, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Obama was cool. I like what he represented. And I actually thought he was a good representation of America. And my friends overseas, especially in the UK, they love Obama, what he represented. And they thought this country was going to go in a different direction, right? Now, Obama tried to do his thing. I wasn't satisfied with everything that he did, but what could he actually do? You know what I mean? In a real stance. All right, but the economy was trashed in. He tried to move the economy. All right, we get 45. Here he comes, right? And I mentioned him in the same tone as Ronald Reagan, because Donald Trump, he wasn't an actor. He was a building mogul. He made his money out of real estate, right? But then that kind of fizzled. I ain't gonna say fizzled because he's still a wealthy man, but he was deeply involved in the New York hip hop scene in the 90s. I know his pictures, it's all that going around, and couldn't wait to shake hands with Felix the Cat. You know what I mean? All right. So when 45 comes, everybody, damn, I keep saying everybody. Minds start to change. The country is going in a complete different direction, right? But social media, you got ridiculous, more reality shows, Twitter, everything's going on, right? Bam! COVID comes. Along with COVID, we got Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick, which people forget. Somebody actually told me that Kaepernick was disrespecting the armed forces. No, that's not what he was doing. Do your research. But that was going on. And before then, we had the Gen 6. Social media and the public, media outlets just overlook things like this and put fake narratives on it, right? The Gen 6 was years before, but please look up the Gen 6, especially if you're a black American, and understand what this country hides from us. They'll snatch your whole life from you, and we'll never know about it, right? Okay, now, as COVID comes, the country's down, right? Can't really do much, can't travel, but you know what? We can start bringing your food to you. It's all different type of things they put in place, made you get the shot, all this stuff. I am non-vaccinated. I chose not to get it, and I'm happy I did, because it looks like it was just a bad cold to me. But from there, things get a little spicy. Trump, he pulled let's call him 45. I ain't calling him Trump. 45 pulled the wool over your eyes again. What did he do? He got in his Oprah mode and gave you a stimulus check. Hey, you want a stimulus check? Give you a stimulus check. And that's where I start hearing, man, I'm getting money with Trump. But our economy's in the trash. Right? Okay. Now we get into the nitty gritty, right? I say all this to say that propaganda, what you watch on TV, what you watch on your county news and all, please pay attention. With Trump with 45 in office, we got the Michael Browns, Phileo Castillo, all these, I would say, lynchings here in America, and broad, in plain sight. I ain't gonna say it all started with him, but it was more noticeable when 45 was in the office, and he made it seem like it was a proud thing to do. Then this January 6th thing happens, everybody just overlooked it. So okay, we get to BET right this year. BET, we finally had 2024 right. We watched the BET Awards. I understand what they was doing. I never watched the BET Awards, but I wanted to see the Usher tribute, which I was highly disappointed in. There's so many great R&B acts out there that could have came through, but it was the twerk fest. You know, on the other side they got the Taylor Swifts. We got Sexy Red. Wow. But I watched how much marketing dollars the Democrats put into it. When's the last time y'all seen Kamala Harris? She was at Roscoe's Chicken in LA at one time. She pops out. Which I actually think that's the key to changing the country. As odd as it may seem, just don't get in trouble because she will lock your ass up. But but other than that, the representation, and they push and push and push the Democratic card, which I think 45 Sleepy Joe. There is no choice. I wish there was a strong, independent running that can give them a chance. I mean, give them a run for their money, right? All right. So with the BET Wars, I was kind of highly disappointed, right? And Kamala Harris, this and that, the LGBTQ A+, I get it. This is my point. Do you remember, do you know who Reverend Jesse Jackson is? I'm old enough to remember Rainbow Push in the 80s. No, I mean the Rainbow Coalition. And they had Operation Push when they was pushing for people to get to the voting polls and Black Pride. And Jesse Jackson was even considering running for mayor. Running for president. But now the rainbow it means something different, right? That's my issue with it all, right? All right, propaganda. We got Sexy Red. We got Drake. All these people that don't mean nothing in real life, right? Again, propaganda. You got Walmart sponsoring, Toyota sponsoring the BET Awards. All these corporate dollars. To get some people on a like-minded page, right? So after that, you see Trump in one of the boroughs over in Brooklyn with all the drill rappers, from New York and that area out there, right? Clearly a play, because he got Lil Wayne out of jail before. He got Kodak Black out of jail before. 2 drug addicts. Alright, no disrespect, Weezy, whatever. But there's people talking about, oh man, I'm getting money with Trump, Well, the economy's still in the trash. You got the iPhones, Yeezys, all this stuff that don't mean nothing, you know what I'm saying? That resale value don't do nothing for it, right? So what I'm saying, before I get into that, what I'm saying is, with Trump being with the drill rappers, I already knew this was what was going on, right? Sleepy Joe can't remember his lines or whatever, but now we fast forward to this man getting shot, right? Or shot at. Can you believe that Donald Trump, talking to the drill rappers, he went out like a drill rapper, but he lived, right? But check it out. Donald Trump is just like Ronald Reagan. They have the same rhetoric. Make America great again. Yes, do your research. It's the same stuff they preaching. The same word for word, right? Ronald Reagan was an actor. Trump was a reality star. Trump became president. Ronald Reagan became president. But before Ronald Reagan became president, he was shot. Trump has been president, and 45 got shot at. Just for him getting shot at, I heard this young man say, "Oh man, Trump is real. He a realist, man." They start playing Mini Men and all this different stuff going on. Hey, you are crazy. It's a stranglehold on these farmers. Your tax dollars ain't paying for nothing. Gentrification's happening. If you ain't making 150,000 a year, you might be in trouble when this man take office. You dig what I'm saying? But that's just the mind from me. It made me think about it in true Jeff fashion when this man got shot. That he popped back up. He on Twitter. He on the news. You know, everybody making memes and stuff about it like it's a joke. Hey man, jail reform is a trip. Just because Trump initiated some things, he's ready to lock you up. Sleepy Joe too. But that's just my thought. We talked about it. I went a little longer than I intended on it, but I wanted to make sure I got these points out in the open so you can understand me. So yeah, Jeffy, I am. Hey, if you feel like it, hit that like button, subscribe. So we talked about it. I'm out.